Right, I'm back down south and I'm after some Chinese water deer. I've not stalked Chinese water deer for about 2 or 3 years. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't find it that challenging. But this year apparently there's less numbers about. Deer are more in the wood. So it could be a bit more of a challenging stalk. So I'm looking forward to it, to be fair. Only after cull animals really. I'm not after any medals. I've already got a medal Chinese from a few years ago. There is a chance of some muntjac, so I might take a muntjac if it gets a bit quiet. Weather's not been the best. It has been lashing it down last few days. Quite dry this morning. Wind's up though, so hopefully that's in the right direction for me. But a bit of luck, there's plenty of deer knocking about and should be able to pick out a cull animal or two. And I'm going to give the Scopemate a try this morning, hopefully. I should be able to capture some shots on camera. Right, 2 seconds out of the car, I've already seen a Chinese water deer straight in front of me. Just not enough shooting light yet. So I'm just going to wait here. The wind's swirling at the minute, but it's more in my face. So I'm just going to wait a bit, let the sun come up, because I've got a bit of cover. But there is a Chinese water deer just walking about, not too far off me. So try and let that light come up and I can have a bit of an idea on it, see if it's a cull or it's a nice buck, and make a plan from there. Yeah, the wind switched on me there. It must have smelt me by the time I got round to where I last saw it. It was running off. So it's not helping this wind at the minute, but I'll keep stalking up anyway, because it's just coming about shooting light now. So anything I should spot, I should be able to have a good look at it. That's the key with Chinese water deer. You've got to study them to make sure that it is a cull buck, because there's not much signs other than the tusks, and a lot of the time if they turn their head a certain way, they look tiny, and then you actually have a closer look and it's a nice big buck. As I said, I'm only really after cull animals this weekend, so I'll take my time now and hopefully should get some round this corner. I've just got a buck and a doe playing about in front of me, giving me a bit of an issue with backstop, because they keep walking in front of the road. So I'm hoping they're going to move over into a nice clear shot. The wind's on my back, so they are smelling me. So I've just got to take my time on them. I'm going to take the doe. It's just moved now. Well, I just missed that one. And with that Scopemate I could go straight back on the footage and look, and I shot right underneath it by the looks of it. I think I pulled it about 180 yards. It should have been a nice easy shot, that one, but definitely pulled it. So I'll carry on having a stalk and hopefully there should be some more out. But that was definitely me area, that one. Really struggling with this wind. 1 minute it's in my face, next minute it's on my back, it's on my side. It's just swirling everywhere. It's hard to get in on them. I just got in on that. Looked like a doe, to be fair. I got in on her. The wind was just straight on my back, so she knew somewhat were up. She got up and run off before I could even manufacture a shot. So I am making my way towards the wood now, which should be sheltered no matter what way the wind's blowing. But it is alerting a lot of animals about my presence, plus also that missed shot I had. Yeah, I'll keep stalking along this edge road now. It should bring me to a wood, and hopefully the wind predominantly should be blowing away from the wood, so I can just sit and have a watch there. That was frustrating. There was a doe there, couched down in some cover. Backstop weren't brilliant at first when I had a good shot on it, so I decided to move around and fashion myself a backstop. But then the cover was covering it, and I just couldn't get it to stand up or lift its head so I could take a shot. And then eventually it realised I was there and darted off. But the wind was right on my back. I thought it would have got up quicker. Again, another frustrating part of the morning. But I'm going to make my way back to the car now, see if I can bump anything on the way. But a lot of frustration this morning, partly down to me, partly down to the wind, but got plenty of time yet, so I'll start making my way back. Well, this morning was really frustrating. If you throw in that miss and then the wind was just not playing ball. Every time I wanted to stalk in on deer, the wind switched and it was straight on my face, straight on my back, straight on my side, and deer was smelling me before I even had a chance to make a plan again towards them. I spent a lot of the morning just chasing deer around. Should have quite a bit of footage from the scope cam. As I say, I got on a nice buck about 90 yards off, but he was too good to take really. All the cull animals were being very wise to the wind and just sitting there smelling me and running off. So it's, as I said, quite a frustrating morning. The wind's still up now. It's not as strong as this morning. I'm not sure if it's still swirling though. I'll have to give it a bit, because that nothing worse than that wind swirling. I forgot how hard it is actually to stalk Chinese water deer here, because the land's that flat. There's only certain points that you can actually take a shot because of backstops, and that's what you've got to try and do, manufacture a backstop by coming round on them, and it's hard to do that when the wind keeps switching because you can't really plan your stalk. So as I say, it's quite frustrating, but seen plenty of deer. Even saw a muntjac early on, first light. So hopefully this afternoon should be better. If the wind's switching like it is, I've got a bit of a better chance of just standing at some point and just waiting for the deer to come back out, you see. So I might just stay off the edge of a wood or something like that, and hopefully the wind plays ball and don't give me away too much. But hopefully I should get on some. But I'll just have a quick smoke and then we'll get back out and hopefully get some deer on the ground. I've got into a group here. Looks like a buck with 2 does. Just lied down. I just can't confirm that yet. So I'm just going to watch these for a bit. It's only about 160 yards off me. I'm set up on bipod, so nice, comfortable shooting position. Just got to hope that they stand up at some point and give me a shot. But plus, I just want to confirm which is the buck and which is the does. It does look like a buck with 2 does. The buck's at the back, does at the front. So I'll just give them a bit here. Wind's not too bad, so it's not too disturbing them at the minute. But just want to get them stood up so I can get a nice clear shot. Right, that's one down. As I were waiting for these deer, I did crawl in a bit closer to about 120 yards on bipod. Just sat waiting, and then the pheasant shoot was going on. So it flushed a deer, and it ran straight through these bedded down deer and got them up. So luckily it offered me a chance to take a shot, because they stopped, took it, dropped on spot. So we'll go over and have a look, see what we've got. So that's a deer down. Takes the pressure off a little bit. Wind was swirling again, so I was hoping the wind was going to be the thing what got them up, you see, and give me a chance. But they didn't seem bothered by me. All thing that we were bothered about was the deer come running through on them. But it's a deer down. Can't complain at that. So I'll go over and have a look at it. There it is. That's young doe. So I ID'd right there, because that's half the battle. Take that down now. That's half the issue you've got when you're out stalking these. You have to double check, triple check before you take that shot to make sure you know what it is. And it did confuse me a bit when they got up and moved. But luckily I managed to stay on the right deer and dropped on spot. So get this over to the edge now, and then I'll carry on my stalk. But deer on the ground, I'm happy with that. And Chinese water deer is the best tasting meat you can have, so I'm looking forward to cooking some of this myself. Right, that's another one down. Wind was in my favour there, so I managed to stalk from 250 yards, got it down to about 130. And used the edge of the wood as cover. Got in and it were two bucks sparring. I took the smaller one of the two, so a nice little cull buck. Just give it a minute. It did go down on first strike, so just give it a minute before I walk in, and we'll go in and have a look at it. But yeah, I think that's my afternoon done, to be fair. Two on an outing's enough for me. Go and get this one collected, bring it to the road, and then I can get the car and go and collect it and get it into the larder and growl them both in larder, most hygienic way, and then get my gear off and have a bit of relax, to be fair, because that's a successful day. Made up for the miss this morning. 2 day down. There it is. Nice young buck. I haven't got any tusks growing there, so we didn't have much chance against that other buck. So a good one to take, that one. And nice lung shot there. Dropped him on spot. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. I'm happy now. Got 2 day down. So what I'm going to do is drag him to the track where the car is, and I'll come pick him up in truck, take him back to the larder, growl them both in the larder so it's most hygienic way. Pointless doing it out here when the larder's probably only a few hundred yards away. And then I'll go and have a relax, because successful morning. Afternoon really, it should have been a successful morning. I should be on 3 deer now, but 2 day down in 1 day, can't complain. Both footage on the camera, and it was good that I could go back and look at the footage straight away to know that I've caught it, which is really good. I'm happy with that. One issue I have with it, that's why I've changed my hat, it sticks up a little bit more than the trigger cam, so it knocks your hat off, so I switched to my bob hat just to remove that issue, and yeah, it works. Ready for it last morning out. Had a good day yesterday, made up for my miss, ended up with 2 Chinese water deer on the ground. Winds dropped this morning, so that's a bit of a favour, because yesterday was just a nightmare. It was constantly swirling, could never get a planned stalking. So hopefully should be plenty of deer moving in the morning, and I'll head off back home. Gonna take a couple of carcasses for myself, butcher them. I might do a bit of a cooking video on some Chinese water deer, because that's the best venison that I've ever ate. I've not had it for a while, to be fair, but it's got like a little bit of a sweet flavour to it, so I'll look forward to eating some of that. But yeah, hopefully should be plenty of deer moving. Weather's a lot calmer than it's been last couple of days, but it all depends on what direction that wind's blowing. But it isn't swirling now, so at least I can have a bit of a planned direction to go in, and hopefully there should be some Chinese and maybe even a muntjac knocking about. Come straight out into this field here, and it's covered in Chinese water deer. Thermal's just picking up, little heads popping up, and I had looked like a doe. I couldn't ID it perfectly because of the cover, about 60-70 yards off me. I'm just waiting for it to ID itself a little bit more, but it just didn't come into cover, and it's just hopped off into the thick stuff now. So that was lucky really. There's a lot of deer in here, so it's best to just give it a stand and wait, just let that movement of them coming out, because it is thick stuff. So trying to pick up if it's a buck or a doe in this is hard enough, let alone being able to get a shot on the vials. So I'll just give it a bit here and keep scanning. Might have just a bit of a stalk down the edge and see if anything's coming out of that cover. Well, I got into about 120 yards on what looked like a doe, and just weren't standing still long enough. I was ready for barking it in some clear bit, but no, it moved off, and then next thing you know, a buck come out chasing it, so it's pushed it off now, which sort of messed my plans up. We were pretty much on for a shot there. I'm just going to stand here a little bit, keep scanning, and see if anything comes back closer to me. They weren't playing ball there. They were chasing each other around in cover, and they just weren't getting into them spots where I've got a clear shot, let alone being able to ID them. They were just running around chasing each other, rutting and fighting. So unfortunately I didn't manage to get a shot in there. So I'm going to carry on my stalk now. Hopefully next field over there might be a bit more out in cover and might be able to get a shot off. But they're all through this stuff. It's just you've got to wait till they get to that little bit of a flat patch where you can actually look at them, ID them and weigh up your shot. You just see little tops of their heads poking up everywhere. So I'll move on and hopefully should be able to get on some more. Whew, right, that's one down. As I was coming out of this crop, I turned around and a deer just come perfectly clean, broadside. So I just wait for it to stop. Took the shot, it was about 140 yards. It's gone down. Only issue is I've got to try and find it in all this stuff now. So I'm just going to give it a minute, make sure it don't kick out. But I've got a rough spot where I lost it, as it looked like it dropped and rolled over. So yeah, should be a deer down. We'll give it a minute and then we'll make our way over and have a look what we've got. Best thing about Chinese water deer, you get a good shot sight indication, because a lot of fur there. That looks like good blood. Yeah, there it is. It's not gone very far, plenty of blood trail to be fair, so we'll find that. There it is. Nice young buck. Little spike, a little bit bigger than yesterday's, but good one to take. Shot somewhere around there on heart. So yeah, pleased with that. They are a lovely animal if you look at them. I say that I had one taxidermied for that reason. Yeah, I've got a silver medal one at home which is up on the wall, which I really like. I'm having a muntjac done the same. Between all the deer, I think muntjac and Chinese water deer really taxidermy up good. But yeah, that's a deer down now, so that's me done for the weekend really. I've shot up, I've enjoyed it. They're more challenging than I remember. Years ago when I did it, there were a lot of Chinese water deer, and it was basically you go over an hill, there's another group, there's another hill, there's another group. But especially stalking in this, it's really frustrating and exciting, because one minute they're there, next minute they're gone. And as I say, I was coming out of this cover crop and I thought, oh, I'll just scan back round, and there this buck was just trotting across in the open bit where I needed them to be. So I got set up on sticks, took the shots, and as I say, not even run 5 yards I don't think. So happy with that. As I say, sort it out now, get it back to the truck. Another good thing about Chinese water deer and muntjac really, getting them out is a lot easier than reds and roe where I stalk. Especially in this sort of ground, it's all flat. You just pick a path, make your way. You're never really too far from the truck, which makes it a lot easier. But yeah, it has been challenging ground to stalk on for different reasons than what I'm used to. Having to fashion backstops all the time, because it's pretty flat. And then obviously trying to ID the deer, because not stalked them for years, so you don't see a lot of Chinese. So you can't really get used to how to ID them. So you have to spend that bit longer looking at them, making sure there's not some big tusks on them. But yeah, been a good weekend. Nearly back at truck now, throw it back in, get it grollocked. Again, it's easier to do it in the larder instead of leaving guts all over the fields. And then I'll make my way home. Right, that's the day back to the truck now. I'm going to get it grollocked in the larder, as I said before, and then head off on my way home. Scopemate I used all weekend and it passed the test, it worked. The screen was very helpful for quick playback, and also the settings, so I can change it to low light mode. So this morning that was in low light mode, and yesterday morning it was. And then on the evening stalks I just put it in true 4K, which was a bit less light retention. And it worked. It's dead easy to switch and change, so for morning and evening stalks, so that did help me a lot. And as I say, just the playback feature, you can take your shot and you go, right, I know that's good, I know I've got it on video. You can relax a little bit more than you do with a trigger cam. But yeah, it'll take a bit of a while before I can truly commit to it. Need to get it up on Aaron and get it in the harsh weather conditions, see how it performs. But so far so good. If you've watched the video this far, don't forget to click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.